Fam, this Mind the Mic podcast is proudly brought to you by Manscaped. Before we get into this episode, I want to give you the opportunity to check out manscaped.com and use our promo code Mind the Mic. That's one word, Mind the Mic, for 20% off plus free shipping across the entire website. That's it. Manscaped.com, code Mind the Mic for 20% off plus free shipping across everything on the website, where you can get cool things just like this. The Lawnmower 5.0. Look, it's even got a light, and you can trim up all them unnecessary hairs, get rid of them. It's actually made for the downstairs, but you can use it for both if you want. They also have beard trimmers, especially for the beard. But this one here is actually made for the downstairs. So get amongst it, get rid of all them loose hairs hanging around down there. And once you've done that, make sure you clean up that nose too. So we got the Weed Whacker 2.0 for the nose. The Weed Whacker 2.0 is for the nose and the ears. We all get annoyed by those hairs, don't we? And we got the crop soother. So once you finish that undercarriage, come get some of this crop soother in your life. What's crop soother? It's an aftershave for the down there. But I've done it. I've tried it. And it doesn't sting like your dad's aftershave. So you're good to go. And if you want to keep it smelling nice, we got the crop preserver. Deodorant for the balls. That's anti-chafing. Not to mention these are waterproof, fam. So if you're like, yeah, but I like those manual ones because I can use them in the shower. Well, never fear. Manscaped is here. Go hard in the shower. It's waterproof, fam. Good present for your dad, for your brother, your boyfriend, your husband. Well, brothers, treat yourself. Go get you some Manscaped in your life. Use promo code Mind the Mic for 20% off plus free shipping across everything on the website. Enjoy the episode. Make sure you subscribe and get some Manscaped in your life. Mind the Mic. Welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubz, here with a special guest that we've got in from the beach somewhere. Some beach. What beach are we at?
We're in Bronte.
Bronte. There you go. Coming live from Sydney. Jenee Taki. Is that how we say your name? Is that right? Or how do we say it?
Yep, that's right.
Oh, yeah. There you go. She's a bit of a... She's moving in the entrepreneurial space, and we've had a few of her sisters on here, Larissa, even Jess McGurran, she's
Yep.
on here too, yeah, and a couple of others. So, hey, good to have you on to share your corded or your story and what you're up to. For anybody that doesn't know who you are, can you give us a little synopsis on yourself?
Yeah, kia ora everybody. My name's Jenee Taki. I'm from Aotearoa New Zealand. I'm from Mokai and Whakatane, and I've lived in Australia since I was 10 years old. I've got one beautiful 10-year-old daughter, Kaya Media, and she's pretty much the driving force in everything I do. And I've just overworking the 9 to 5, over struggling, especially as a single mama and sole provider. I knew something had to change if I actually wanted to support my daughter and actually be present in her life. So that's what led me to the online space. And I've been in the online space for about 3 years now, income-wise. And over the last year, I've decided to go all in Enagic, and it's pretty much, changing the trajectory of my life in all the best ways. And I'm just here to grow. I'm here to learn. And it's just been a beautiful journey so far. So, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, solid. So you grew up in what, in Mokai, or between Mokai and Whakatane? Is that what you said?
Yep. So my mum's from Mokai, my dad's from Whakatane, Tauranga. So, grew up in both of those. Very close to all my family. Went home a lot growing up. So I didn't really feel I've never really felt disconnected from home. So I've been blessed in that sense, I guess.
Solid. At 10 years old, where did you move to? Straight to Sydney or?
Straight to Sydney, and I moved to Gold Coast after I turned 18. Went there, partied out large like you do, and ended up getting pregnant and ran back to Sydney.
Hey, Schoolie's pregnant. Those ones.
No, not that young. I was 23 when I got Babu.
Solid. What? And then what was the baby? Is he Māori too? Or?
Yeah, he's Māori Samoan, so he's actually from my hometown. So I actually went back to my hometown and came back up.
Oh, not the cuzzy.
My whānau was like, yeah. My whānau was like, 5 or 2 million men in Sydney, you're going to come all the way back here and get knocked up. How it goes,
Oh,
bro.
no, that's okay. That's life sometimes. And with that experience, Sydney, 10 years to 18. Whereabouts were you growing up over there, and what was the sort of home dynamic like?
Well, my mum and dad worked really hard. When we came over to Australia, I actually found it like extremely traumatizing coming over
Okay.
here. It was really hard. I felt like I didn't fit in. Everyone was so different over here. Everything I said was just like a bit of a laugh to everybody. I just felt. Yeah, have you seen the Truman Show? Is it the Truman
Yeah,
Show? It's like a movie with Jim Carrey, and
yeah.
he's like put in this world, and everything's very routine, and that's how I felt. I felt like someone picked me up out of a world and put me in another world where I didn't belong. And yeah, actually, me and my younger sister really struggled with adapting to what life was like over here.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, I remember the first time we went home for a holiday, I screamed the whole airport down, bro, when we had to come back. Like,
Oh, you
it
didn't
was
want to,
actually
eh?
really, really
Hell no.
struggle. Nah, I didn't want to come back here. I was just like, don't take me back. Like, school
What
was
age?
so
What age is
weird.
this?
That was at 10. So yeah, I think
Oh, okay. Yeah.
we moved over here and then we started school, and they actually tried to put me back like 3 years, and I was like, bro,
Huh?
telling my dad, yeah, well, when you come over here, they usually put you down a year. And I remember telling my dad and being like, Dad, man, like this is stuff that I did in kindergarten. I don't know what's happening here. And he came down to the school, and I remember him having it out with my principal at the time, and was like, they were trying to say that New Zealand's like actually further back, like in the learning stages. And I thought, there's no way. Like from what I had learned in New Zealand and then came here, I felt like even in year 6, which is the highest year in primary here, even that work still didn't really phase me, and it just kind of felt really strange to just that transition. It took me pretty much until I became an adult to actually appreciate what this country has done for me. So yeah, now I accept it as a part of it's made me who I am. So yeah, and I really embrace all the opportunities here and things like that now.
What kind of social things did you get up to as a kid? Like, were you sporty and all of that, or what'd
Yeah,
you
I
get up to?
love sport, love touch, love touch. Touch was my jam.
What you touch?
Back
Oh
in
no.
Kura.
Oh, come on. Now.
You read some of your comments, I swear.
Bro, that's me, yeah. That's me all day. Everybody knows Shubz. That's how I go. I just if I think it, I say it. Then yeah, sometimes it doesn't always come off too good.
Nah, I'm here for it.
I don't give a damn.
Authenticity in its
Yeah.
finest, bro.
Aye, tika tai. Aye, tika tera. 100. That's it. But touch. So touch was again. What did you like? Play reps and touch in it, or just at school?
Yep, yeah, I got into touch, and I like loved riffing for my younger sister and stuff like that. It was actually really good. But my dad was pretty strict, so he wouldn't really let us do anything outside of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was heaps of things I wanted to do as a kid, and he was just very, very protective because there's 4 sisters, so
Oh, is that it? Four
yeah,
daughters. That's
very
what the bro
protective
had.
over us. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
you the one,
and
G.
an older
Yeah.
brother too. Yeah, so
Oh
he
yeah.
was very, very on us and very strict. You know, like straight home after school. Don't you miss that bus and all of the things.
Yeah. Are you
But
grateful for
nah,
that,
it
or
actually taught
do
me a
you
lot.
wish you had a do you wish you had a lived a bit in your teenage years? Are you grateful for it, or do you wish you had a lived a bit?
I think I did wish that he let us like kind of explore those kind of things, because I felt like if I did those things that I loved, I could have really taken it quite far where I was
Yeah.
at the time. And I wish he had a bit more trust in us. But from a teenager and the things that he told me, I actually learned a lot from my dad. I actually am grateful for the way some things could have been like, oh, come on, bro. But other things, it's like, yeah, I am grateful because he kept us grounded. You know, we're always known as the pretty girl, the pretty Māori girls, you know. So, like, I think without his grounding, we could have been a little bit out the gate. So.
Rea. Playing up, But I had it before 23, yeah. Yeah, that's that's old ass back home, man.
Yeah, pretty much, hey. As a kid, you know what? As a kid, I thought 23 is the age I want to start having kids. I remember saying this. And,
so you manifested that. You manifested
I manifested that. And when I got to 23, I still felt like a kid. Like I still felt like, you know, like I was still out partying. I was doing all the things. I'm like living on the Gold Coast. I was living life. You know, I still didn't really feel mature enough for a child. You know, I wasn't looking to settle down or too hard or anything like that. But thank God, because I've always been a big traveler, and she kind of kept me still and gave me more purpose in my life. So yeah.
True, eh? You like the tangata whenua, walk about, eh?
Yeah, pretty much, bro.
Where were you heading up in the Goldie back
all
then?
over the world.
Yeah. Where you been? Give us some of those spots.
So I've been to Mexico, I've been to Cuba, I've been to Egypt, Jerusalem.
Boy, how trippy is Cuba? How trippy is Cuba? Like, it's like a time machine in a way, like when because of all those sections and stuff. Like I've done quite a bit of traveling too, but
beautiful.
Cuba tripped me out in that way of like, okay, no, like these old ass cars and stuff, but it's cool. Yeah,
it's cool. All the colorful buildings, and like I reckon out of all the countries I've been to, I reckon that's where the most beautiful people are. Like I reckon the Cubans
have a different life too. Like because of sanctions and because crazy, like so close to America, but because of because of being communists and whatever, like the way America didn't want to trade with them, whatever. Like heaps of things
I didn't realize
they weren't allowed
how
to do. They had to figure things out and how to like manage their cars and keep them going forever and how to it's amazing, to be honest. Cuba
amazing, honestly. I tripped out and I didn't realize how big that kaupapa was over there until I went to go and get some money out of the first night we got in, and it swallowed my card. It actually swallowed my card, and I was like, oh no. It was just lucky that we made, of course, by alignment, we made friends with one of the big pins of Havana. And he helped us out, and I literally transferred my money to him, and he got it out for me.
Wow, you're fucking wretched if the boy just kept it out.
I know, that's why I was like so funny. Like something happened to my whole account when that card got swallowed. I don't know what happened. If they thought it was a fraud.
Did you get some of those skims? I got some of those skims before. Was in Jamaica and there. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, fuck, my card's gone. I'm only halfway through my trip. I still had Mexico and Brazil to go after that. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do? I need some money. Like, we just got here. So I had to ring my sister in Sydney. And I was like, I need you to transfer $1,000 to this fella over here. And then, like, he's going to get it out for me. And she's thinking, what the heck are you doing? Yeah, it's 4 a.m. over there, and you're just having a beer at some embassy, and I was like, yep, just trust me, I know what I'm doing.
At the embassy? What the embassy?
Yeah, because we went he took us to the embassy first to see if we could get any like support over there, which we couldn't. So then that was kind of like the last resort. They've got like a New Zealand embassy over there.
Oh, there's a New Zealand? I didn't even
know. Yeah.
Solid. And Jerusalem, you going back there anytime soon or no?
I love Jerusalem. I had a really, really good experience over there. It was beautiful. We went to the Holy City, and we went to the Holy City, and we were actually with a tour, and I didn't even know if I was actually going to make it into the country because we kind of look like them over there, me and my sister. So
Mhm.
I think it's because they kind of were asking us really weird questions. As soon as we got off the plane, there was like a lady who came up to us and she was kind of like hovering around us. So it was like
Or did you
some
fly
kind
straight
of
into Tel
security. And
Aviv,
I'm
or
thinking,
did you fly straight into Tel Aviv, or
um,
did you go?
I don't know if it was Tel Aviv. I don't know if it was Tel Aviv actually. I wish I stayed at Tel Aviv because I heard a lot of good things about it once we landed, but I had no idea what Tel Aviv even was before
The
getting there.
party in Tel Aviv. Hey.
Yeah, but I think they thought we were Palestinian because even when we got to the customs, they were just asking us some heavy questions, like, and they were like, "What's your dad's name?"
Hectic air.
So it said my dad's name, and then they're like, "What's his dad's name?" And I was like, "Holy!" I was like, Adolphus Taki," and then I was like, buzzy that, and that's what led us in the country. Is like, I looked at my sister like, I don't think we're gonna get in here. And it was my grandfather's name that
Did you get
actually
a
got us
stamp, or
in.
did you get one of those sticker things? One of those fucking did you get one of those ones? Like on your
Yeah, I
passport?
got a sticker. Yeah,
Yeah, those things.
I got a sticker on the passport, and it was buzzy because the reason that I went on that Egypt and Jerusalem trip was because my koro actually went through there after World War II, and they could choose anywhere in the world they wanted to go, and he chose Jerusalem because he wanted to repent. For all the lives. He was quite a holy man. So, but
Oh, so
yeah,
he served in World War II, like for Māori
he
battalion,
served
or
him. Yeah, for the
oh
Māori
yeah, yeah, yeah.
battalion.
One of my
Yeah,
crew was in
and
there too, yeah, in the Egypt and that
oh,
company, and then
oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
my
yeah,
koro went through there, so it was always a goal of mine to follow in his footsteps one day and do
yeah,
that
cool.
trip. And so to get in the country by saying his name was just like, oh, we're in for a bit of a hikoi. I knew we were in for a bit of a hikoi. So
Oh, did he have a
yeah, it
few?
was
Did he have a few
beautiful.
Palestinian aunties over there too? Did he have a bit of a jam over there, or what? No, I only say
No,
that
he
because
literally
Makaro
just.
did it. Makaro he had an Egyptian son now, and he was like
Oh, did
he
he
pumped one
really?
he pumped the Egyptian princess or something over there. Yeah, yeah. But because our nanny burnt all the letters because obviously that was his missus back home, and so this is Makoro's father, but he didn't. So they never got to meet him, and my old lady and then we're looking into it hard out about like trying to find this fella, and because all these fellows that served with my crew used to tell my koro that when he was because he died, son, Kati, Kati. Um, yeah, when they used to tell my koro that like that he used to get picked up by a limo from the base from the army camp. My koro used to by this lady and then they ended up having a baby. But my mum and them looked into it, and then I think my old lady started giving some money like your styles out to some people, but they were scamming them, trying to get money out of them. One of those ones, trying to find this
Oh,
uncle of
trying to
hers.
find.
Yeah, yeah, but that's why I asked her, like, if the boy had a few pumps over there, maybe that's why they might have questioned you. Your koro might have had a few Palestinian babies there.
No, my koro was like I never got
Oh
to
yeah,
meet him personally. He died the same year I was born, so I was only
okay.
2 months old when he passed away. But um, yeah, it's pretty beautiful story. Everyone who knew him on both even my mum's side say he was like the purest man you could ever meet. So yeah, very, very holy. But my nan was like
Oh,
heaps younger than him, eh? Like I'm sure almost 20 years younger than him. But they had 16 babies together, her and my koro. So yeah, pretty sure he would have fooled me.
wow, my man, yeah. Right. Might be 20 with the Palestinian ones. Yeah. Maybe. True. But you ended up getting in, and how long did you do in Jerusalem, and then where else did you go to? Did you go to other places in Israel, or just to the holy city?
Nah, that was the only way. That was the
Jericho?
only way.
No?
So nah, I didn't get to go any because we were only there for like 4 days, and
Not even a Dead
the
Sea
only
float.
reason I went, yep, got a Dead
Right.
Sea float in. The only reason I went is because my daughter's father called and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take baby home." It was his dad's 50th at the time, and everything in me wanted to say no, but I was like, "Oh, I take you everywhere with me." We had been to Thailand and all of these places,
So what you got?
and I thought I can't say no to that occasion. So I was like, "Oh yeah," and I remember hanging up the phone and I had this big vision board, and the pyramids was the first thing that caught my eye, and I just literally booked it right then and there, and I was like, fuck, I'm off. I'm doing this. So yeah, I didn't really get to. I only had I had about 2.5 weeks, I think, to like try and get as much as I could fit into there. I actually wanted to go to Petra from Jerusalem, but
Petra.
no, I didn't have enough time. I needed to get home to my baby, and so I was like, oh well, I'll bring her with me the next time I come.
Oh, solid. Yeah. And where out of all the places you've traveled to, would you say is your favorite destination, and why?
Oh, bro, I can't really say, because I love traveling. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of my purpose. It's
I'm with you on
like
that.
to get to know other cultures, and yeah, I just like have this big passion of when it comes to traveling and getting to know the tangata whenua of their land. And but Egypt had a big impact on me personally. I don't know if it's connected to my koro, but Matakiti has also told me that one of my past lives, my first ever life on earth, I was Egyptian, and I was like, yeah, I believe that. So I don't know if it was that, like, yeah, my soul just felt I don't know what words to actually use, but while I was there, I bawled my eyes out leaving that country.
True, eh?
So yeah, yeah.
When you did Egypt, did you obviously would have done like the Giza Plateau, but did you go down the Nile, go to like Luxor and that Valley of the King?
Yeah, I cruised down the Nile. Yeah, I went cruising down the Nile, down to Luxor, and got to swim in the Nile. Run amok with the locals too. It was a vibe. Yeah. What did they call it? They call it whiskey over there, eh? Egyptian whiskey. They call their tea. I remember singing and I'm like, bracing myself for a shot, and I was like, hey, is this tea?
Yeah, Chris Stapleton 3.0.
Yeah.
Egyptian whiskey. Yeah.
Solid. No, I loved it. I loved it down there.
Give us three places that you want to go that you haven't been to, and why each destination.
I want to go to Jamaica. Jamaica is definitely somewhere I want to go. Yep. Ja. And Scotland is somewhere I want to go because I'm part Scottish, and we've got quite a bit of paperwork. My mum's brother was able to hold on to about our Hay clan, which is the clan that we belong to, and the castle that we have over there, and a bit of history.
Hay clan.
Yeah, the Hay clan, and he's got a bit of history about the castle that was like our families, and
give it another hay and it would have been the chicken there. To the Hay clan. Oh man, means you got the coat of arms and all that stuff, or you got a well, you got a tattooed.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have it, but we do have that. Like I've seen that on the books, and I remember when I first seen that paperwork and wanting to like create a kids book based on that paperwork, which is something I would probably still do actually, just so that our babies kind of have that connection of kind of put those pieces together and kind of understand. Yeah.
What makes up who you are, is so that's the genealogy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because we know we're Māori, but
yeah, fuck, I know Māori all day.
How did the Hay clan get over?
Did they like convict ones? Because I know a lot of convicts came to Australia, and then a lot of them left and ended up heaps ended up in Aotearoa. Because I got we are Highland, and they come from, they were like convicts, and then one of them jumped off obviously jumped off from Aussie and jumped on a boat and ended up in Aotearoa and married one of the great nanny. So I don't know if it was one of those Scottish styles, maybe, possibly, or maybe they just came with the settlers. You know, heaps of those settlers when they came. What was it?
Yeah. I was just saying, because when I saw that paperwork, I was pretty young, but I just remember seeing all the photos of the castle and like the coat of arms and all of these things, and just like I remember just thinking like, I want to know more about that, and and I want to
Yeah.
create something that we can all easily learn from.
Yeah, so that's why that would be your second one, because that makes sense. Like, and to go there and then walk in, like just like your Karawa walking where he walked in Egypt, and all of that stuff in Jerusalem, same sort of thing in a way. Going back to
Yeah.
the He clan, the castle, to see some dirty rascals. But what would your last place be?
My last place would be I want to do Hawaii.
Yeah.
I want to do Hawaii. Yeah, that's somewhere I haven't been before. I just heard that the energy over there. There's like shitloads of places I want to go, but Hawaii is
But
definitely
Hawaii, like for the energy or
up
for the
there.
uncles?
Yeah,
Oh.
the I don't know if those uncles are my style, to be honest, but
True, eh? Oh, no, that's why you're Apia. That's your style here. Yeah, there.
no, nah, Māori.
Oh, true. Oh, back to the roots. There you go. Back to the roots.
Yeah, back to the roots. I think I feel like it's just because like I come from a really very close knitted whānau, and I feel like to understand me, you need to understand my culture and the way things work. I've like
I get you.
recently like
It's hard, eh? Like
yeah,
when they're different, when they come
it's
from different
hard.
cultures too. Yeah, like polys are obviously a
Yeah.
bit closer than others, but like I see some people like, and don't get me wrong, each to their own. Love whatever you love, but I see some like what they say pāke, and they're like real pāke, and then you're like having to explain everything on why you shouldn't do this and why you shouldn't eat your kai in front of everyone unless you're gonna share it. You know what I mean? All those kinds of things.
Yeah, there's so many
Just
things,
stuff
eh?
that we just know, eh? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, especially the way that I roll with my family. We're like, there's so many of us, there's like 1,000 strong on my mum's side, and my dad's a child of 16. So, like,
Yeah.
you could just imagine the size of my whānau, and all of us are tight. Both sides consider each other cousins. My first cousins on this side consider them to be their first cousins on my dad's side as well. We're really, really, really close, and like I'm so grateful for that.
How close?
But
Like
yeah,
any
there's
like
like
mattress room close or nah?
actually, yeah, there's a few of those. Yeah,
that
there's a
happens.
few of
That
those.
happens when
Yeah,
that
it
close.
happens. It happens. Keeping that bloodline strong.
Kia ora. Must be Egyptian because I heard the old pharaohs didn't mind about that here.
Well, like when you think about it, there was always like a purpose behind it too. It wasn't even more so love. Like I reckon back in those days, it was all
like you
about
said,
the whenua, and it was all about
bloodlines.
it was all about that. Yeah, bloodlines. It was like kind of all arranged in a way. It's like, oh, yep, make
How do you
sure
reckon
that
you
we
go?
got good ties up there.
How do you reckon you're going
Well,
for arranged marriage? Like if you're old through to pick your tāne.
I would chuck a fit.
Oh, hell no.
Nah, hell no. Hell no. Like I'm 33 and I'm single now, and
Yeah,
I enjoy
Freemason.
it. Yep. Freemason. Yeah, no, I enjoy being single, and I guess I'm like I don't feel like I'm your average chick, I'm a bit different, and I feel like there's heaps of people that try and pursue me, but no one that can really keep up with me, and yeah, got a lot of love to give, and I love what I've got in my space, and I guess who I've grown into.
What you're doing.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying my journey and what I'm creating of my life at the moment. I feel like that could come in time, but right now it's just not even on my radar. I'm really enjoying where I'm at.
Get it. Speaking of where you at, how did you get into that whole mahi space? How did that come about? Or I guess we could go back even before that. What are the jobs you worked to up until the point you got to where you're like, I need to find a way out of this?
Yeah, so me and my daughter's father separated when she was about she's 10 now, and well, he moved straight back to New Zealand because he had really no one here, and he had us here, me and my baby. So he moved back to New Zealand, and I needed to pretty much figure everything out on my own from that, how I was going to make an income. At the time, I was just part-time working at a jeweler, and I really enjoyed that. I love talking to people, so that was a bit of a vibe for me. and then I ended up having to go that full time, and it just wasn't cutting it. I was only on like $21 an hour, I think, at the time. Just wasn't cutting it. I was
Ooh.
like, fuck, I wanna, if I wanna like move, I wanna do all these things, and I was at my parents at the time, and then I was like, well, if I want to move, I've got to go out and get the only way I knew how to make money at the time was to go out and get another job. So then I got into Star Trek, was like logistics, and I
Oh yeah,
jumped in
start your
there from like
career thingy.
6 a.m. I think I started 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. was 12 p.m. was that shift, and then I would go straight
Is
from
that in the
there
factory?
straight.
Like in the
Yeah,
doing the order things.
yeah, sorting through deliveries, and
Yeah.
I used to
Any
do that
dodgy
for
ones?
6 hours.
See any dodgy ones?
No,
Nah.
no, I didn't see much dodgy stuff in there. It's a bit boring.
Hey. The X-rays there. See some buds there. Oh, kia ora.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm pretty sure whoever worked on the X-rays might have saw a few things. That's for
Yeah, they would
sure.
have cracked it too. Eh? Hopefully they
Yeah, but I ended up working both. So it got to the point where sometimes I'd rush home and I'd only have 20 minutes to get ready to go to the jeweler after that. And
Oh,
then I was
true.
working, yeah, once it hits peak, which is about October in retail, then I was working up to 10 hours in that, like 10, 12 hours in those shifts too, because the malls used to
Ah,
stay open quite late.
alright. Is you smoking the pee or what? Oh,
Nah, I've never been
like
one
I'm
to
not.
sleep well.
Oh
Anyone
yeah.
who knows me, like
Well, I'm
that's
the
why
same. Like 4 hours max, if
you
that.
don't really. Yeah, me too. I would love to like reach a goal of 6. I always say to my mates, man, if there's a course that teaches you how to rest, I'll probably take it, eh? Like
Bro, I
teach me the
tried heaps of
ways.
shit out. I tried heaps of shit out. Fucking do all this blah blah blah. Yeah, don't even work out. But then I think a lot of mine's just
Nah.
trauma and stuff out, like being tattooed with when you're a kid when you're asleep and all that stuff. I think it's what kind of hard to
Oh,
move in it, all that yucky stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah. Oh, ratchet, bro. Sorry to hear about that.
I mean, fuck.
Uh,
Bro, there's one of trillions there, really. Fucking
yeah,
Karoa, like,
pretty much.
well, but and I think in a way though, it's made me be a better like parent because it makes me really aware of like situations and not want to put them in any of those situations. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
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 stuff like that. And then
100%.
like always, even when tamariki are around at home or whatever, always make sure that they're all in this like all in the lounge where I can sort of see them, and even if there's
Even
drinking, never really get haurangi, just watch them, make sure they're all good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like that too. I don't like my baby around when everyone's
Well,
drinking,
you
especially
don't
if
know
there's like people
anyway,
I don't
because it's
know.
whānau that it usually comes from too, though. It's usually whānau,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck
yeah,
who you are,
100%.
I might love you with
Yeah,
all my heart, but you might get haurangi and be an idiot, so yeah, and
yeah,
all that stuff. So
yeah,
that's why I think
exactly.
mine stems from that and getting dongs in my sleep, because I didn't used to be able to like only to like anybody touch me in my sleep, I just swing at them, but like it's pretty bad. But yeah, we'll just trauma out of it, follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, trauma's trauma, bro. And we've all been through some kind of trauma.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how
And it's
you
all
deal with it,
relative.
how you
Still relative to each person. When
100%.
people go, "Oh, yours is worse than mine," or man, yours is yours and mine's is mine,
Yeah,
but that's all. Yeah.
yeah. There's like nothing that you can really compare. Trauma is
No.
trauma, eh? And like,
Yeah.
um, nah, that's so
Comparison is
true.
the thief
And
of joy, eh? The Theodore Roosevelt said.
100%,
Hmm.
100%. So yeah. Anyways, I was working a lot, and I was on top of that, I was a kai haka. So I was
Oh,
doing
shoot.
haka here,
Fucking
like
ready.
competitive. Yeah, so I was practicing once during the week, all weekends. Like every weekend was just jam packed with haka. My daughter did gymnastics. I like anything she wanted to do. I wanted her to do that. I think Friday night was the only night that I had off, and I used to go to my cousins, and I would only work one shift on the Friday night. So that was like my time to kind of like be around adults and have adult conversations and do what we do, catch up with the cousins. That was me on a Friday night, and I just knew something had to change. I remember just working, and I remember growling my daughter for something, and her dad was here at the time, and he was like, "Bro, like, why'd you why are you yelling at her like that?
Mm.
And he explained to me what she was like, and I was like, fuck, I didn't know that about her. It's like, fuck, because I'm never here. Like, I'm never here. The only parenting I was doing was putting her to bed if I was lucky, because I was getting home so late.
Mm.
And then my day was starting again at 6 a.m. So it was like I just was not present with my daughter at all. And I thought, fuck, something needs to change. I'm like disconnected, and I need something that's gonna actually help me to be a mum, not just be a present mum, or just be a mum at all. And that's how I kind of like dabbled in the online space. Literally Googled how you make money online. How
Oh,
can I
literally, it was
be
like
a
bowing out. Let me
yeah,
Google this shit.
yeah.
See?
I was like, shit, like I need change. And I saw some of my friends online in the crypto space, and I reached out, jumped in, and my journey kind of started from there. I hit it big in crypto. I was able to take 2 years off work. Like helped a lot of people, but my money mindset still wasn't there. See, so I remember
Yeah,
the
hard.
first time I
Well,
made
financial
10K in a
literacy is not
month.
taught to us, cuz. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
understand. You know what I mean? It's
So
not taught to you in
I was
schools.
open, and I was like starting to understand what investing meant. It's like, whoa, okay, so you invest in things, okay, that's what that means, all right. And I remember making $10,000 in 1 month, and it was the most money I'd ever made in a month, and then the next month it was gone, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey,
Again.
how? How does that
Yeah.
happen? Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm pulling out my credit card the next month. What happened? But it was all a learning curve, eh? Like everything, I just realized I was like, okay, so making money is possible, but if I don't know or learn about money, about my own beliefs around money and what my story is at the time, this cycle's never going to change. I'm still always going to have to go back to work, and I'm still always going to be struggling if I don't really unpack my belief system. And so that's what I started doing, and then that's led me to Enagic. Which is crazy about Enagic is my dad actually started this kaupapa first. He got a machine years ago, and I remember him like asking, oh, feel my hair, it's soft, and all of those things. And we're a big water drinking family, and I thought, oh, cool, that's cool. And then he left the business. My dad was like a really big entrepreneur, but he could never stay in one spot. He always got bored, threw it away, and went on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And so I ended up in Enagic, and it was just like crazy. Even just 2 weeks ago, I found a book about hydrogen water, ionized water, and I picked it up, and on the first page it was a note in there. So whoever gifted that puka to my dad, and it had this big novel in there about how this like wire is gonna change the world, and do beautiful things for his family. And like, yeah, it was just really crazy, because I lost my dad 3 years ago this month. And
Oh, too.
um
Ko mate.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
whāroa.
he got really sick. Yeah, thank you. And like, so for me to like, I feel like I picked up the baton, and like I'm gonna be the one to take it all the way. Like he started it, but it's like me to finish it. And a big thing that I sat on the fence for this for a couple of years. Like my mates were doing it, and I was like, yeah, I knew I would join them one day. And then but yeah, I guess my grief just really like took me. I ended up spending a lot of money. That's how I coped with my grief. Um and I pretty much spent it right down till I was like running on E, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, all that money just going. And that's what got me back into the 9 to 5 again. It's like, fuck, I've got to go back to work. And I didn't want to show up online at the time. I didn't really want, yeah, I kind of just completely lost myself after my dad, because we lost him during COVID too. So it was like a
True.
different type of grieving. The grieving process
What
was
was there like?
very.
Were you able to like be around them that much? Like because of all the rules and shit?
Well, no, we always used to sneak over to my mum. See, during lockdown and all of that, I never listened. I was like one of the rebels that
Yeah,
just
who
did my
hookies?
own thing
Never
anyway.
wear a mask till ain't been jabbed.
Nah, I didn't. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, likewise. And like, I remember going every time I went to Woolies, bro, I just eyeballs on me everywhere because I never wore a mask. And
I just smile, you know. Hey, You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just like didn't bother
Most
me.
of
I
the
was just like,
people
oh,
don't want to drama with a big Māori fella anyway. He says, all right, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll just smile and then keep going.
Yeah, no, that was really out of it experience, but losing my dad in that time would sneak over. I was helping to look after my dad, me and my sisters, because obviously I wasn't working at the time.
Yeah.
And so we were over there, and him and my mum only lived like not even 10 minutes down the road from me. So over there all the time, and I was so grateful that I was able to actually be there and be present and be pretty hands-on with my dad once he got sick. Because he was sick for like really sick, especially over that last year that we had with him. He got really, really sick, and we were just hands-on like pretty much around the clock. My sister left all her kids and up in the Central Coast, which is about an hour and a half away, and she pretty much moved to my parents full time to help look after him. And that losing him, he went into the hospital, and then because it got to a point where the pain was just too much, like
What did he have?
way
What was
past.
the mum?
He had prostate cancer, and but he got told. I think he got told a couple of years before, but never said anything.
Old school there.
So, old school as stubborn as, and so I think it just started to take hold of other parts of his body as well. So yeah, he ended up going downhill, and me and my sisters were there for the whole journey with my mum. So during COVID, it didn't really matter. We'd still go over there like nothing, as long as sometimes we would have to kind of park a bit separated instead of all piling up at the house, and to keep the peace with the neighborhood. But then he got taken to palliative care once it got out of our hands, and we're like, just go for the weekend. We'll come back and get you, like just get you some proper pain relief or whatever. And then they sedated him, and he wasn't allowed to come out. They didn't let him out. And then they said no one else was allowed to go there except for my mum and my sister. And there was no rotating of those two people. Those two were the only allowed. And I was thinking, so we had to get him back to my house. I was like, get him back to mum's. Let's get him back to mum's. And they were like, he'll die. They kept saying he'll die on the way. We were like, nah, he won't. Like, we know our dad. He ain't going to die. Like, just bring him back to us so we can say, like, have our time with him. And they tried to not let him come. They tried to keep him there, and I was like, nah. They're like, we got no hospital beds, trying to come up with all these excuses. So we paid for a hospital bed. We did everything to get him home, and then we got him home, and we were able to keep him for 2 days. So yeah, he passed. Every night would have karakia with my whole family on the TV on the Zoom, which was right next to my dad's bed, our big screen TV, and on that second night during karakia, he took his last breath. So we were all there to see him off. And then we thought after that we got the mattresses out. We got to thinking we get to spend the night with my dad. And then my brother came out and told us that he's going to get picked up and taken pretty much ASAP because of all the water retention.
Yeah, are you right?
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just listening.
Oh, you can. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I
water retention?
Yeah, he went through all the water retention, so they had to take him because otherwise he was going to start leaking.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was like, so then that was pretty hard out just to like, okay, he passed, and then we weren't going to see him again after that. And obviously at the time during COVID, you had to be vaccinated if you wanted any kind of tangi. There's only 10 people allowed in, and he had like, he had 5 kids and he's got 14 grandchildren. So it was kind of like, oh, well, we decided to like, the best thing for us to do was to send him home because New Zealand had level 2 by then. So yeah, that's what we did. We sent him home. We spent that last bit of time with him, and then he was gone.
Oh, so when you say send them home, did you go with them or?
Nah, because no one was allowed to travel.
Oh,
at that time. Yeah, no one was allowed to travel. We literally put him on the plane, and so that hour that he passed we got 1 hour with him, and that was it. That was it.
Fuck.
So it was like, yeah, it was a fucking out of it thing to process, and it was one thing I'm grateful for. I would say the only thing I'm grateful for is that it was just us. It was like my dad was quite a well-known man, so like if that was, I guess, in like nowadays, that would have been so packed, and so like there would have been hundreds of people that came through for my dad, but it was literally just like me and my siblings and
You
my
got that
mum
little intimacy, that
and our
intimate
kids. Yeah, that real
set.
intimate time with him, and that's probably the only thing I am grateful for. But it just made the grieving process different because being Māori, we have
Yep.
tikanga, and there was like no tikanga. We went. There was normally we cry together. We laugh together. We have a purupuruake, and we tell stories about his life, and we go through all that process together as a whānau on our whenua, and that journey was kind of stripped from us. So it was just a really weird thing to navigate because it almost felt like even though we knew he was gone, it felt like he'll be back or like we'll catch. It just felt real.
Yeah, you didn't have to have the proper process there. The proper process
that
of
process.
grieving
So
and
it didn't. Yeah, and then we didn't get to go see his grave until a whole year later. We went home and the borders opened and all of that happened, and I thought, oh fuck, okay, so we all went home to see my dad, and I felt like the grieving process started there a whole year later. It's like, oh, there he is. It's legit, he's in the ground. There he goes, and that's my dad there, and shit, like fuck, I've got no dad.
You know what's
like,
crazy?
and he was like
on what you're saying, the my koro, he brought me up in like, he's probably the most influential man in my life. It's my mum's stepdad. But when he was about to pass, I went and seen him, and he hadn't spoken. He had a stroke on the toilet, and I put him in the car because I was back in, I was in high school in Aussie, and I was going, back. I was back home for a bit. And I was like 16, 15 or whatever, and I said to him, because he had a stroke and he wasn't talking for he didn't talk the whole time. Our whānau were going, and then they were like, "I'll come up and see him," and I just didn't want to see him. He was my hero, I just didn't want to see him like that, And then I ended up, because I put him in the ambulance. Then I ended up going up, and then he didn't really speak until I walked in, and then he's pretty much, where you been, blah 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 blah. And then I said, "Oh, my plane's off Aotearoa. Like, do you want me to stay or do you want me to go?" And he was like, "No, go. I'll be all good." And then I was like, "Oh, sweet." I left. And when at the same time I landed back here in Aussie, he passed away exact same time. And then I never went back for the tangi. And my nan, my mom, everybody was like, my cousins, whanangas were like, "Yeah, what are you up to? You're selfish, whatever." I was like, "Well, I got to say goodbye." You know what I mean? What am I going to go look at him in a coffin? I'm good. But 8 years later, it took me 8 years before I ever went back. Like, I've been home a lot of time. I never went to the Urupa. I never seen it. But when I did, I stood there, my nan, she sort of did a little karanga when we went up there, and then boom, I broke down mean. So I think I had sort of held that grieving process off myself. No COVID or anything, just because I didn't go back here and go through the process like you said. I really resonate with what you're saying there, because that was me too. Like, I didn't even know all these roimatas came down that I didn't even know I had. Like, I didn't cry at all in that whole time, you know what I mean? And I stood there 8 years later, and down they came. Out the gate. Well,
yeah, it is out of it, and like I've never really been through that before. I watched my dad get taken into like the funeral home and all of that, and it was fucking crazy because his sisters all picked him up from the airport. Well, the what do you call the people that pick the bodies up in the hearse?
Yeah.
They
yeah, what, like in the hearse, like pick them up to take them to the funeral, the directors or whatever?
Yeah, the director picked them up from the airport, and then all my dad's siblings, all his sisters were there outside of the airport, and he pulled over, and they were able to rub his coffin in that, and we were all on Zoom at the time, and all we wanted was for them to get through to the borders and be able to go back home to Whakatane, to our farm, and be able to send my dad off. And we were on the Zoom with them the whole time. They were following the hearse, and then once they got to that border, they got turned down. And we don't leave the tūpapaku like ever alone. And then we literally watched on the Zoom my dad drive off, and they were like, nah, sorry, you can't go.
Whoa.
So it was like almost like losing him all over again, like not my aunties, his own sisters not being able to go, and just like the tears. I remember sitting in front of the TV with my mum and my sisters. It was like the most horrible feeling, just like watching him drive off by himself, and our whole family, like all the siblings are just sitting there, sitting there watching him drive off. It was like a really, really heavy experience. And
what's your marae in whakataone?
The Taifakaya. Yeah.
Yeah, you must be whanaunga, is it?
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
Are you from Taifakaya?
Yeah, part of me is, yeah. My koro is Kingi Wikipa Pinto. I don't know if you know
what the hell? Yeah, the Kingis are definitely my whānau.
Yeah, but but this my koro Kingi Wikipa is his name. Pinto, heaps people know him from Taifakaya, but yeah, that's my it must be whanaunga.
Oh, kia ora, cuz.
Kia ora, cuz.
So yeah, they were able to, so we were lucky because my Auntie Moni, she was a funeral director there. So even though New Zealand was still on a certain level of lockdown, she let my whānau come from all over to come and see my dad off. She did the best that she could, and she left the camera on my dad the whole night. So my whole whānau stayed on the Zoom pretty much 24/7, and everyone camped out in their lounges. So it was still like we did the best with what we had, and
as best as you can. Like
we did the best that we could.
Technology in that way, but it's not the same, obviously. But something.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Yeah, so I was like completely lost, and then I feel like finding this actually like realizing like something. I need to snap out of this. I can't just be like drowning in my sorrows. The whole year later. So that's what got me into the space. I was like, fuck, let's go. So jumped into space, and it's pretty much helped elevate my whole life. Like there's plenty of ways to make money online, but this space in particular, you really get to serve and impact people. I feel like I've inspired like a lot of people on my journey, but I've been able to give them advice. But in this sense, and in this business vehicle, I can not just give them advice, I can actually give them the tools that are actually going to support their health and their whole well-being and their growth, and most importantly their financial future, because we really need something like that if we want to survive without struggling. If people think they're struggling now, I can only imagine what that's going to look like for people in a few years' time. And I feel like this is the best place for me to make impact and income. So very rewarding, and being able to create that generational wealth for my daughter. And just the fact that this space gives you an end game. It's not something you have to do forever, even though I feel like it is probably something I am going to do till the wheels fall off. But just having that option and having that kind of security is so special. And I've grown so much, and like I would have never grown this much in such a short amount of time if I didn't say yes to this opportunity. So grateful for my team and my crew, and my girl Lou for even going first and paving that way. And it's just been a hell of a ride.
No, Mickey, it's on. But you if people want to hit you up, they just hit you up on Instagram or what to get amongst it with the business.
Yep. Yes, definitely. If you're interested in making an impact and an income online, if something in your life needs to change, whether that's mindset, community, money, anything, definitely hit me up on my Instagram, which is Jenee Taki, and Facebook too. So definitely reach out. I love connecting with people. Even if any of the story resonated with any of you, just always down for kōrero and just to help and empower those around me.
Yeah, solid. Before we get out of here, I've got a couple of little quick questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If you could only eat one meal, one kai for the rest of your life, every day you got to eat this meal, What do you choose?
Oh, one meal.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like an actual meal, not just the food, but actual, an actual meal. What are you choosing? Every day you're eating this for the rest of your days.
Every day.
Mm.
Can I say an acai bowl?
Whatever
not?
you want, Gil. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with an acai bowl. Acai bowl with granola, kiwi fruit, banana, strawberries, and Biscoff topping. I'm probably going to go with that.
Too much. Oh, look. Yeah, get amongst it. Get amongst it. That's the first one out of all these. What is this, like podcast 300 and something? That's the first one I've heard of that. So yeah, let's go. Been plenty of steak and eggs, plenty of boil up, plenty of those ones. Yeah, but that's the first.
Oh yeah,
acai bowl.
I love all of those, but something that I could have to do every day, then yeah, it would probably be an acai.
Well, there you go. Superpowers. In the realm of superpowers, if you could choose one of those superpowers, or maybe create one if you wanted to, which one would you choose and why?
Teleportation.
Why?
Just so I can be in 100 places at once.
I think you can only be in one place at once, but I get
Yeah,
what
but like
you're saying.
bam. Like I can be
Yeah,
like,
I get what
say
you're
I
saying.
can be like at your, I can
Yeah.
be over there having lunch with you, then I'll just shoot back and I'll be at my daughter's, I don't know, dancing
Yeah.
recital, then I'll shoot back over here. Like I can be at heaps of places.
Go back to
That's
Cuba,
something
see the kingpin again. And,
yeah, see the kingpin.
yeah.
Get into some mischief, come back. Yeah, I reckon teleportation.
All right, teleportation it is. Give us a piece of advice for anybody out there wanting to break free of the matrix.
Oh, what can I say that's not gonna rant on for ages?
Say whatever. If you want to rant on. Besides what you've already said.
Yeah. I just feel like, we are the supernova of the future, and anything you want in this world is so possible. It's so possible for you, and all you need to do is find out who you are, what your purpose is, and know that there's so much support to help you do that. And just take risks on yourself, believe in yourself, trust in yourself, be open and willing to grow, and know that there's so many people on your path, and no matter how hard life gets, we can always make it better. Even when life's not hard, we can always make it better. And it's just about evolving and being open to receiving all the abundance that wants you. Everything that you want in this life wants you more. You just have to be open to letting it in. So yeah, that's a bit from me without going on too much.
Yeah, that was on. Give us visualization 10 years from now. What do you hope life looks like for Jenee Taki?
10 years from now, that's probably looking like living at home. I want to eventually live home during the summers, and I want to be living in Bali for the winters. So just something I'll probably do before the next 10 years is like supporting thousands. I want to have supported thousands and thousands of families create a life of their dreams, and show people another way of living, to live life on my terms, with complete financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, and health freedom, and not be dictated to by anybody, and to make sure that all my whānau are drinking the highest quality wine, and that my daughter's living a life that she absolutely loves, and just making that impact and creating an empire that I can leave and be proud of for all the generations to come after me.
Mickey. Well, I just want to say time is the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, things, but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing an hour of your time with me and anybody that listens to this for years to come, cuz I appreciate it so much, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you be a success and achieve all the things that you strive for.
Likewise, bro. Thank you so much for having me.
Get boy. I was ending or nah? Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning, have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.